Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Metamorphosis The Rise of the Insects Airoki figure from Giveme5ive. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, Airoki is a work of art. Just so much good stuff going on here, and starting off, just the overall look is just fantastic. A great silhouette. It's very much pinless, and combined with the fact that, obviously it is insect, like an insect humanoid. So you got all those kind of chitin plates everywhere, that exoskeleton, that really just kind of makes it look all the more real. It's fantastic, just great concept and execution. Beyond that, speaking of those plates, everything like sculpt is absolutely everywhere. We also get a couple of nice washes over there as well, so we see kind of a, trying to figure out what the base color is here. Honestly, it's kind of more of a cream, and then looks like we kind of have a deep kind of almost flesh tone going on to kind of bring out those accents, and then maybe kind of a darker or dry brush of a lighter tone over that to kind of bring it home, and it works exceptionally well. Just looks really, really good. And get all these spikes and stuff like that, and these are very sharp, very, very sharp. But when you're trying to swap out parts, you definitely notice they're there. But we'll get to that in the next section. Then we get some soft goods, and these are actually not part of the sculpt, but they're worked into the sculpt. You can see that they are actually like in the knee joint there. So those aren't going anywhere. That is in there, but it does not hinder the articulation, which we'll get to in a couple sections. So that's amazing. I never thought I'd see that, and kind of hope more companies do that. There's some really cool like possibilities going on there. We look at the feet, we got some really nice sculpt going on there, and we can see some peaks here of this kind of wound sort of look to it, but I don't think it's supposed to be. You can see that glossy paint, and that comes back when we get to the neck and the and parts of the head, and you can see just like very kind of raw looking, and it's just very, very nice. It definitely pops. Speaking of popping, those eyes are gorgeous. This like nice deep red translucent plastic. There is the compound eyes underneath that. I don't know how well that's going to come across with my camera. Hopefully you can see that. And we get a couple of translucent eyes on the top, which don't seem to have the compounding, but still amazing idea. Amazing face sculpt as well, especially these horns and the antennae. Just everything looks utterly fantastic. Bring more of that to the back as well, like literally the spinal cord type piece having that kind of magenta, kind of red raw flesh sort of look to it. And then we get some metal pieces here for the belt to kind of make it look a little more refined, I guess. And yeah, really, really fantastic, gorgeous looking figure. Lots of good stuff when it comes to accessories, so let's jump right in, starting with hands as we normally do. So right out of the box, we do get a pair of fists. I will say these are also very, very hard to swap in and out, so you'll have to heat them up, so just keep that in mind. So we get those, get him relaxed there. Then we get a pair of kind of clawed out hands. We get a pair of trigger finger hands. Then we get a pair of grips. And there's actually a second pair of grips. I'm just gonna say that right now. These ones, you can see that like the palm is pretty hollow. When I first got this, the other set of grips are in a separate bag with another accessory, and I was confused as to why is there another set of grips. And these ones have the palm with this kind of convex piece of the palm. I think that's to allow more room and less wiggle room for the weapons, so we'll see those in a second. So we get those. Speaking of that bag, we do get a scarf, and there's a wire going from here all around kind of the inside and then here, so it's bunched up really nicely. It is very, very voluminous, so you got to work with it to get it to look right on the figure, but there are some options there, so that's really, really cool to have. Then we get what we have the trigger fingers for, and that is this really cool looking plaster. Really like the shape of it. The paint is gorgeous. You can see that like really nice kind of gunmetal, and then this more brass line kind of going from the back up into the front, and then this kind of worn out canister here. I really love stuff like, I love paint jobs like this, especially on metallic pieces. So I'm very, very happy to see that. Just a really nice piece overall. Then his other weapons, so we get a pair of these kind of daggers or swords, not sure what they're supposed to be, but very insect-like, very manted looking. And you can see the handles are very thin, so I think that's what the kind of concave or convex palms are for, so that gets a better grip there. Not only that, but for these, we do get this piece, which is a metal chain, and it has two ends, and you can see that, and you can probably imagine where this is going. So you have your dagger and knife, sword things here, and they'll just kind of plug in to the end. Of course, I'm trying to do this on camera, which is dumb, but there you go. So that holds there, so that gives you another weapon option, which is awesome. Then we get what looks like the two bladed weapons attached together in kind of more of a, kind of long arm sort of deal. So this is also really cool, kind of like the twirly looking, the implications of this weapon are fantastic, I think. Then finally we get the one accessory that completely confuses me, because there are no directions with this whatsoever, and this is just some kind of tan tape. You can see the 3M logo on the inside. I don't know if this is for like repairs if something happens with soft goods or something. If you know, please let me know in the comments. So yeah, that will do it for accessories. Articulation for Airoki is amazing, and unfortunately I cannot get freestanding kicks just due to the looseness of the ankles, but that does not affect the range here. And still, I do like getting deep crouches like this and being able to balance it on like just a toe joint, which is really what these should be for, is fantastic. So yeah, some really good stuff possible here, and we're going to get over into the nitty gritty right now. So we're on a barbell joint for the head, and that lets us go up to there, down to there. I mean, as you can see, full look down, and then we get the neck, which goes all the way forward and back, so we can get all the up we need, we can get all the down we need. This little flap in the back does move a little bit back and forward, as you can see, so it does get out of the way and allows you again to get more of that up look, which is fantastic. We get tons of tilt because of that. We get rotation, of course, all the way. Then we get these joints in here, so we get a ball joint with a rod coming out and then a hinge, and that allows us to come up crazy much. So come up into almost a Y. Also, I guess it's worth noting, we have the hinge and ball joint here on this shoulder plate, so that gets out of the way so you can go anywhere you want. But that rod also allows us to come forward, back, up, down, so you can go all the way around. Get tons and tons of options. We do get a bicep swivel. We get double jointed elbows. Be careful, they are kind of tight, and don't push them too much. That's a ball joint holding in this double joint. And I heated up the right arm, and now mine's kind of loose. I don't know why. It should be fitting in there, so I'll check that out later. But this left arm seems to be pretty tight, so that's good. Then we get our swivel hinge swivel here at the wrist, so we're going anywhere we want there. Then we get a barbell joint in the diaphragm and the waist, and we have this separate piece in the middle, which allows us to get all of the crunch. And you do have to watch out for that middle piece kind of running into the rest of the sculpt, but then we get all the arch back, all of the side to side, all the rotations, just anywhere you want to go. Just incredible range. Then for the hips, they are covered by the soft goods, but you can tell they're sculpted under there. And we do get some drop downs, and that allows us to come all the way out. Full splits, positively beautiful. Front kick is past 90. There is a thigh swivel under there as well. We get double jointed knees, folding all the way in half. Then we get another swivel hinge swivel here at the feet, but we are running into the plates here on the side. I kind of wish they brought those up a little bit just to give you a little more pivot. And then finally, the toe joint. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here they are with some other insect and insect adjacent humanoids. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally with yours truly in human form in both 1/18 and 1/12 scale. So my final thoughts on the Metamorphosis The Rise of the Insects Airoki figure from Giveme5ive is that this is an absolutely stellar figure. There's just some really good stuff going on, especially the range and the articulation, the sculpt, the paint, everything feels absolutely beautiful. Actually, this on the packaging says that is an articulated statue, not figure. So I guess that kind of plays into it, especially with, I guess, where my pain points are for this figure, and that is the difficulty in switching the hands. I've had to heat them up almost every time. So that's something to keep in mind. The loose joint after heating up the elbow is weird. That's something I'm looking into. I'm not going to consider that so much a pain point yet, as much as maybe an oversight on my behalf. Beyond that, and wanted to add that the different palms on the gripping hands apparently is not for these dagger style weapons, because it seemed to make no difference. So maybe it was like an idea, or maybe it worked better in the prototype phase and it just didn't work in the production figure. But yeah, in any event, the daggers are kind of hard to fit properly, so there is that, so keep that in mind. But overall, just gorgeous figure, articulates beautifully, and is really fun, and that's really what it's about. So yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Certainly if this design calls to you at all, definitely hunt it down. I think it's worth it. If you're willing to put the work in, it's definitely not a kind of like super easy figure, just kind of like right out of the box, everything works perfectly, especially in terms of like swapping out the hands. But beyond that, like, if you're willing to put a little bit of time into it, I think that the rewards here are high. So yeah, fully recommend it, and I wish you the best of luck in tracking one down for yourself. That being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining, and if that's the case, I hope to see you back here, because I do reviews every week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So if that appeals to you, come on back, let's talk about some nice plastic, escape the world for a while. But really, at the end of the day, I just hope you're well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true, and most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.